my god. It's been a hot minute since I made one of these. If you haven't seen it, my processing software that I use to make the quality of the videos a lot better got really messed up on my current computer, which resulted in me not being able to make these for a while. So, yeah. But, I'm back. For real this time. So let's just get into it. Let's just kind of pretend this never happened, right? Just kind of push it to the side. Just bury it. Bury the hatchet. Special Chapter 1 begins with Speed reminiscing on the past and how much things have changed since he moved in with Espion and the others. And then we soon fade into a flashback of Crystal waking Speed from his slumber in, a less than ideal manner. Speed, after some petty arguments with Crystal, heads into town to meet with Trace. Speed and Trace talk about Speed's parents, which are, for lack of better words, yeah, man, they dead as fuck. Speed, after bumping into Sylvia, they chat, blah, 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 stuff you don't care about, and then, they kiss, blah, 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 all that. We then skip to Speed finishing out his day with a conversation with his siblings before we cut to the next day where Speed and Trace are fighting a Hypno. We're jumping around a lot here. Then, after taking a pretty solid hit from, whatever, we see Trace's dad get hurt, and then Trace also get hurt. So Speed, springs into action like a superhero, and he links with some sort of device and becomes like epic and cool or whatever for a little while. And sure, this Speed fella takes down the big bad evil guy, but he kind of gets a little in over his head and starts just attacking everything, including Frost. Frost manages to beat him up, stop him, and Speed is released. And, he starts Loki having some horrible nightmares. Horrible nightmares. He explains to Frost what he saw in the lab. Stuff like that. And then, we cut to a little while later while they're going through a dungeon to get the Jirachi. They meet Jirachi, just as you would imagine. Oh, yeah, and Speed evolves. Yeah, I mean, that too. Seems like it'd be more important, but no. He just kind of uses a stone, and there you go. Just like that. He takes his form of actually Speed now. They then meet Jirachi. They agree on a wish that a healing factor into Speed, just kind of making him, like, invincible to, like, dying. Like, in general, or something like that. And, yeah, then our chapter just kind of ends. Yep. Alright. The ranking. First, general story. 8 out of 10. Yep. This chapter gets, a lot done. It develops the Berserker plot, shows background to Speed's story, explains where he met Sylvia, and, Trace in this chapter. I like Trace. That being said, it lacks a lot of explaining. It leaves a lot more questions unanswered, such as, what even was the thing Speed linked with during the fight with the Lucario? Raises a lot more questions than answers. Secondly, dialogues. 10 out of 10. There are some great lore dumps in this dialogue, and it makes me want to delve further into the story. It's very, attracting. It's fun to read. And also, there's a lot of comedic relief moments, like with Trace and Crystal. It brings up to an incredible chapter. Lastly, character development. 7 out of 10. It doesn't really develop Speed as a character, more so much as just kind of evolve him. It provides just context to who Speed is, which I suppose inherently builds it. But, So, that brings us to a combined total of 25 out of 30, which is pretty fucking good for a chapter that I don't like very much. Maybe you disagree, but, I'll chill. And you know what, man? I'm glad to have finally gotten this video out. So please just have yourself a good day, evening or night, wherever you are. Peace.